During the last 25 years, the attention of the Christian world has been directed to the Holy Land in ways and to an extent heretofore unknown. Learned and scientific explorers have penetrated every part of it and given to the public the result of their researches. Commentaries, Bible dictionaries, books of travel, maps, plans, guidebooks, pictures, and photographs have been greatly multiplied. The Palestine Exploration Fund of England has made a thorough survey of Palestine proper, and the American Exploration Society has sent several expeditions to the regions east of the Jordan and the Dead Sea. In these and other ways, a great amount of new information in regard to Bible lands and the Bible itself has been accumulated, and the author has endeavored to incorporate in this work the most valuable results of modern research and discovery, the main object being biblical illustration. The number of scripture passages introduced is large. The Bible is made to speak for itself in its own peculiar phraseology. The Bible is made to speak for itself in its own peculiar phraseology. Hence the many direct, literal quotations. No consecutive comment on any particular book of the Bible is attempted, but the author selects from all such passages as containers suggest the themes he desires to elucidate. This is his chosen field, the limit of his promise. For nearly half a century he has resided amidst the scenes and the scenery described, and from midday to midnight in winter and in summer has gazed upon them with a joyous enthusiasm that never tired. First impressions, corrected and improved by subsequent study and examination, are now reproduced for the eye of the public and the heart of the Pious. In many departments of biblical literature, the student in Europe or America, surrounded by ample libraries, is in a better situation to carry on profitable inquiry than the pilgrim in the Holy Land, however long his loiterings or extended his rambles. But it is otherwise in respect to the scene and the scenery of the Bible, and to the living manners and customs of the East, which illustrate that blessed book. Here the actual observer is needed, not the distant and secluded student. To describe these things and such as these, one must have seen and felt them. And this the author has done through many years of vicissitude and adventure. And whatever of life and truthfulness there may be in his pen pictures is due to this fact. Where he has been, he proposes to guide his reader through that good land of mountain and vale and lake and river to the shepherd's tent, the peasant's hut, the palace of kings, the hermit's cave, the temple of the gods, the haunts of the living and the sepulchres of the dead. To muse on what has been and converse with what is, and learn from all that they teach concerning the oracles of God. A large part of these pages was actually written in the open country, on seashore, on sacred lake, on hillside, on mountaintop, under the olive, or the oak, or the shadow of a great rock. There the author lived, thought, felt, and wrote, and place and circumstance, no doubt, given color and character to many parts of the work. He would not have it otherwise. The Bible at once his guide, pattern, and text is pervaded with the air of rural life. And he who came from heaven to earth for man's redemption loved the country, not the city. To the wilderness and the mountain he retired to meditate and pray. Thither he led his disciples and the listening multitudes, and from seed time and harvest and flocks and shepherds and birds and flowers he drew his sweetest lessons of instruction. In that identical land amidst the same scenes has the author of this work earnestly cultivated communion and intimate correspondence with that divine teacher, and with the internal and external life of the book of God. And what he has found and felt he has tried to trace upon the silent page for other eyes to see and other hearts to enjoy. A new generation of readers and students of the sacred scriptures has arisen, and the interest in biblical studies has been greatly increased and extended. Any work designed to meet the wants of those who now daily search the scriptures should abound in illustrations, both textual and pictorial, which are accurate and reliable in detail, and the information imparted must be brought down to the present day. No effort has been spared, which was found necessary to reach such a result. The pictorial illustrations are entirely new, prepared specially for this work, from photographs taken by the author, and from the best existing materials, and they have been drawn and engraved under his superintendence by artists in London, Paris, and New York. The thanks of the author are due to his publishers for the liberal manner in which his most costly part of the work has been executed. Great attention has been bestowed upon the spelling of proper names, and all who have any knowledge of the subject will appreciate its importance. It is extremely perplexing to ordinary readers to meet with a dozen different ways of spelling the name of the same person, place, or thing. To avoid this confusion, it is absolutely necessary to have some well-defined system, and the one adopted for this work is that of Dr. Edward Robinson. This system, drawn up by Dr. Robinson and his fellow traveler, Dr. Eli Smith, was submitted to the General Meeting of the Syrian Mission, after careful examination in which the author participated. It was adopted by the mission, and it has gradually grown in public favor, has been accepted by the Palestine Exploration Fund of England, by the American Exploration Society, by recent writers, and in guidebooks to the Holy Land. In addition to the names which occur in our English Bible, the present Arabic names of places are added in all important cases, a feature in this work of much importance. This volume of the Land and Book is supplied with 2 carefully prepared indexes, one of texts and the other of names and subjects, and the attention of the reader is directed to them, as they will facilitate reference to those parts of the work where the scripture passage is illustrated and the subjects treated of are to be found. And now, with the cheerful hope and the fervent prayer that our pleasant pilgrimage together through the earthly Canaan may hereafter be resumed and perpetuated in the heavenly, the author bids his courteous reader farewell. W.M.T. The land where the Word made flesh dwelt among men must ever continue to be an important part of Revelation, and Palestine may be fairly regarded as a divinely prepared tablet whereupon God's messages to men have been graven in ever-living characters by the great publisher of glad tidings. That this fact invests the geography of the Holy Land with special importance needs neither proof nor illustration, but there are other considerations which impart to it a deeper and more practical interest. It is from this land we have received that marvelous spiritual language through which we gain nearly all true religious knowledge. Here it was devised and first used, and here are found its best illustrations to form an adequate nomenclature for the thoughts of God and the wants of mankind. was the problem, and it would not be difficult to show that this was a matter of supreme importance, and not easily accomplished, one wholly beyond the unaided skill of man to achieve, nor could it be effected once for all, and suddenly, by any act even of almighty power. We learn from history that it required 15 centuries of time and an endless array of providential arrangements cooperating with human and superhuman agents and agencies to bring this medium of intercourse between God and man to the needed perfection.